for lab exercise number 3, part C. We're going to test some different types of test specimens for your organic molecules, and that's going to be our proteins, some simple sugars called monosaccharides, and then some very complex sugars called polysaccharides or starch. And these are the things that we're going to be using. We're going to use, of course, the lab book. We're going to use 6 different test solutions or specimens. That's going to be water, egg, a glucose solution, a soft drink, and I chose Diet Coke, yay. Then we have a starch solution, and then we have potato juice. So we're going to test these 6 specimens for first of all, for proteins. And we're going to actually, for proteins, we're going to use a solution called Barrett's solution. Then we're going to test them for monosaccharides using a solution called Benedict's solution. And then thirdly, we're going to actually test them for polysaccharides, and that is going to be using iodine. These 3 organic molecules are very important in the human body. Now, we need all of these substances in the human body to maintain homeostasis, but there are certain places that we don't want these different types of molecules. So, for example, in urine, you don't want to find proteins in urine. Now, oftentimes when we perform this test, people say, why do we have to test for sugars and for proteins? And that is because we've got to maintain that homeostasis. And this is exactly what happens in the laboratory when you send your specimens down to the lab, okay, to test for different types of things. And proteins, of course, we want a certain amount of proteins in the bloodstream. So, for example, albumin, which we're going to talk about in AMP2, albumin is a protein that must stay in the bloodstream at all times to maintain fluid balance so we don't make water move over into the tissue spaces, those types of things. So it's important that we have that protein there, but in a certain level, okay? Sugars and proteins both, neither one of those should be found in urine, all right? Because if we have too much of that, of course, we're going to cause damage to the kidneys, to the nephron of the kidneys, the workforce of the kidney. So these types of tests are done in your laboratory on a smaller scale and with a machine. So what this is going to show you is the basis of those tests, of how you test, for those organic molecules, all right? So let's get started.